about some sun, water, and cost-effective way to spend this spring break? If that sounds fun to you, then why not pack up the kiddos and head on out to Elephant Butte Lake State Park for this year's spring break. Here to talk to us about what is all happening out there is Toby Velasquez, New Mexico State Parks Bureau Chief. Thanks, Chief, for coming in.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Yeah, so this is good news. We've been talking about this in the past week or so. Great news coming out of Elephant Butte Lake. The water level is actually higher than it was last year.
Definitely great. It's come up over 40 feet vertically, which is awesome. We have over 10,000 surface acres of water. So that's, flat water. Yeah. That's a lot of water to get out and enjoy.
For a while there, you started to get to feeling like, oh my gosh, that's probably not a place where you want to go boating or take the family, but things are obviously improving out there. And you guys have a lot of activities and events happening, right?
We do. We're really gearing up for the warm weather. We're hoping that all the spring break families and college students get out and enjoy New Mexico outdoors, out at Elephant Butte. We live in New Mexico, and why do we live here? We live here because there's some beautiful outdoor opportunities for recreation, and Elephant Butte is really one of those jewels that we have in New Mexico where you can go and have an adventure.
Chief, would you say that Elephant Butte Lake is probably one of the more popular places to go boating? Because we're in New Mexico, we're in the desert, there's not a whole lot of places, to be honest with you, to go out to lake property.
Yeah, we have 35 state parks. 19 of those are lakes, but Elephant Butte by far is the largest. And because it's closest to Albuquerque, Las Cruces, and El Paso, we get a lot of folks out there, and it's a great place to be.
I got a confession to make. When I lived in El Paso for 6 years, that's where we went. We went to, I mean, this was back in 2000. The situation was a little bit different, but it was a lot of fun. I can definitely attest to that. Obviously, when you head out and you start making your plans, let's say families do head out to the lake, what are some safety tips to keep in mind? Because especially when we talk about boating safety, sometimes we tend to forget when we're in the midst of having all this fun. We got to remember, safety's key.
Yes, and thank you so much. Safety is so important, and our staff is really dedicated to helping people have a great time so that they take a great memory back home. Best thing is always wear a life jacket when you're on or near the water. They'll save your life. They really do, each and every time. Next thing is never operate under the influence. Whenever you're operating under the influence, it could be dangerous. And we don't need operators that cannot manage their actions out on the water. One of the last things is inclement weather. Know about the weather. We've heard about Kristen this morning with high winds.
Right.
And if you need to know that when you get out on the water so that you can prepare for it. And then the last thing is gather as much information prior to going on your visit. Learn about fire restrictions if there's any in place. Learn about anything that you need to know as far as getting myself prepared before I get out.
Yeah, planning is key. Very good advice. And by the way, you don't obviously have to have a boat to go out there and have a good time. There's so many other things you can do, right?
That's great. New Mexico State Parks provide adventures for everything and everyone, from small kids to adults. It's everything you can want to do. It's a great opportunity to find an adventure here in New Mexico.
Listen, it's going to save you instead of booking a plane flight or driving out of state. We're basically in our backyard, just maybe from out the Albuquerque area. What, Elephant Butte is really like 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours unless you're pulling something. No, it's not that far. And we really think that New Mexico State Parks are the best recreation value close to home. And they're right in your back door, as you said. And most folks, once they go out, they said, I never knew this, I'm coming back. Yeah. And that's really what we want. We want people to enjoy their state.
Well, that's fantastic, and we are so excited to hear that things are improving, at least in terms of the water level there in Elephant Butte. Chief Toby, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
And we're not